You were charged with your first DUI in New Jersey. But the biggest question in your mind probably is, am I going to lose my driver's license? Their answer may surprise you, and if you don't know it, you could make one mistake that turns a short-term inconvenience into months off the road. When it comes to a first DUI and possible license suspension, timing and accurate information matter. So stay with me because in this video, you're going to get clear answers to the three biggest questions people have about getting their first DUI here in New Jersey. First, I'll break down whether you will actually lose your license and what determines that. Next, I'll walk you through what happens step by step in the legal process so you know what to expect and what's coming next. And finally, we'll go over what you can still do right now to protect yourself and avoid mistakes that could make things worse. There's a right way and a wrong way to handle this, and knowing the difference can save you time, money, and your driving privileges. Now, most people charged with a first DUI in New Jersey expect the worst. They assume their license will be taken away, their life will be completely disrupted, and there's nothing they can do about it. And honestly, before the law changed a few years ago, that assumption made sense. But here's the part that surprises a lot of people. Under New Jersey's current DUI laws, many first-time offenders are actually able to keep driving, as long as they follow the right steps and understand how the law works now. Problem is, plenty of people still make decisions based on outdated advice, old Google results, or what happened to someone they know years ago. And that kind of misinformation can be costly. One wrong assumption or delay can be the difference between keeping your driving privileges or losing them. Now, New Jersey's DUI laws changed in December of 2019. Under the old law, a license suspension was automatic. Today, the law focuses more on ignition interlock devices, meaning many first offenders may keep driving if they follow the correct steps. So it's important not to rely on old information or assumptions because the rules today look very different than they used to. A lot of what happens in a first DUI depends on your BAC level, your blood alcohol concentration. There are three ranges: 0.08% to below 0.10%, 0.10% to below 0.15%, and 0.15% or higher. That last number is the dividing line. At or above that reading, a license suspension becomes mandatory. But there's something important you need to know. New Jersey now allows plea bargaining in DUI cases. That means even if your reading was 0.15 or higher, you may still be able to negotiate the case down to a lower tier and avoid the mandatory suspension. For example, pleading guilty to DUI with a 0.12% reading rather than a 0.15%. Next, let's take a look about the ignition interlock device, also called an IID. This is a breathalyzer installed in a vehicle that prevents it from starting if the driver has alcohol on their breath, requiring a clean breath sample before ignition and random retests while driving to ensure sobriety. This is the device that allows most first offenders to continue driving. How long it stays installed depends on your BAC. For 0.08 to below 0.10, it must stay installed for 3 months. For 0.10 to below 0.15, it must stay installed for 7 to 12 months. And for 0.15% or higher, it must stay installed for 9 to 15 months after your suspension. Now let's talk about when a license suspension actually starts, and this part is critical. Suspension does not begin at the time of arrest. It begins when you're convicted, either because you pled guilty or the judge found you guilty at trial. If an ignition interlock is required, you must have it installed. You must provide proof of that to the New Jersey Motor Vehicle Commission, and you must pay the restoration fee. Only then can your driving privileges restart. Installing the device before you plead guilty can avoid unnecessary downtime and weeks without the ability to drive. The DUI isn't only about the license. There are fines, court fees, possible jail time, although there is a presumption against jail time on a first offense, insurance surcharges, and you can expect higher auto insurance premiums. So even if you avoid suspension, a DUI still comes with financial and legal consequences. Now, can an attorney help? Well, in many cases, yes. An attorney may help challenge the reading, avoid timing mistakes that could create extra penalties, negotiate the charge to a lower tier, and make sure every compliance step is completed correctly. This isn't about pressure, it's about clarity and protecting yourself. Now that you understand how New Jersey handles first-time DUI cases and what determines whether you'll lose your license, the next step is figuring out what this means for your specific situation. Your BAC level, your court location, how quickly you act, and even the choices you make right now can change the outcome. So if you're charged with DUI in Burlington, Camden, Gloucester, Salem, or Cumberland County, New Jersey, I invite you to schedule a call with me. During that call, we'll talk through the details of your case and what options you may have, including whether you may be able to avoid a license suspension or negotiate a better outcome. Click the link in the description below to schedule your call.